Good morning. You were live in the CNN newsroom. I'm Jim Acosta in Washington. With just 90 days until the election, the Harris-Waltz and Trump-Vance campaigns are in full swing this week. An all-out battleground blitz across the country as the candidates take their messages directly to swing state voters.
So we got 91 days. My God, that's easy. We'll sleep when we're dead.
Fresh off their kickoff rally in Philadelphia last night, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are taking the Midwest by storm, stumping today in Wisconsin and Michigan. Meanwhile, at any moment, J.D. Vance will deliver remarks at a manufacturing event and take questions from the press, we're told, in Michigan before heading to Wisconsin later on this afternoon. He's sure to sharpen his attacks against his new opponent as the two vice presidential nominees cast each other as radical extremists.
J.D. Vance literally wrote the foreword for the architect of the Project 2025 agenda.
Tim Walz's record is a joke. He's been one of the most far-left radicals in the entire United States government at any level.
Midwest, a highly unusual tarmac encounter. After arriving for a campaign event yesterday in Wisconsin, a Republican vice presidential nominee, J.D. Vance, made a beeline over to Air Force Two, admiring the aircraft and searching for the vice president.
I just wanted to check out my future plane. I saw her car. I did not see the vice president. The windows are tinted. I did not speak to her. No, I think she was trying to get the hell out of there as quickly as possible.
All right, moments after that bizarre stunt, Vance had posted this image on X, formerly known as Twitter, confidently claiming Air Force Two as his future call sign. He also said that he's going to be starring in some sort of entourage report. I guess made a joke that might be coming along and that he would fit into that just fine. Let's talk about this with former Director of Strategic Communications for Donald Trump's 2020 campaign, Mark Lauder. Good morning. You were live in the CNN newsroom. I'm Jim Acosta in Washington. We begin with Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, pushing forward on their nationwide battleground blitz this afternoon. They're holding a campaign event in Detroit before heading to Arizona. Harris and Walz are fresh off of two huge rallies in Wisconsin and Michigan, where they received an energetic welcome from a massive, raucous crowd. But while the new campaign continues to enjoy a shot of momentum, the Democratic ticket is still facing familiar challenges as pro-Palestinian hecklers once again tried to interrupt a rally in Detroit. Take a look.
I'm here because we believe in democracy. Everyone's voice matters, but I am speaking now. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
We should note Harris spoke to leaders of the movement backstage before that rally, but also in Detroit, the campaign capitalized on a familiar ally. United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain praised Governor Walz as one of us, he said, and made clear how he sees the choice in November.
This is a simple question in this election, because on one side, you got a billionaire that serves himself and his billionaire buddies. And on the other side, we got a strong, intelligent, and I'm just going to put it bluntly, a badass woman who stood on the picket line with striking workers.
All right, let's go live to Detroit and see that's Arlette Signs. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz are taking their surging campaign out west with a rally in another crucial swing state, Arizona. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump is back with a campaign event in Montana, which is not really a battleground state in the race for the White House. And that rally is happening 5 days after his last one. Yesterday, he said he hasn't gone to a single swing state this week because he is, quote, leading by a lot. That is not true. In fact, Harris is ahead in many of the most recent polls. The vice president's momentum has Trump changing course and now agreeing to debate her in September after saying for 5 days that the matchup was, quote, terminated. It's a challenge Harris is welcoming enthusiastically.
I'm glad that he's finally agreed to a debate on September 10th. I'm looking forward to it and hope he shows up.
In debating Trump, are you confident in Vice President Harris?
Trump's offer to debate Harris 2 more times this fall came during a rambling, rant-filled news conference featuring familiar falsehoods. At times, it turned abrasive.
What a stupid question. She picked a radical left man, heavy into the transgender world, heavy into lots of different worlds. There'll be a peaceful transfer. And there was last time. Nobody was killed on January 6th. We're very close to a world war. Kim Jong-un liked me a lot. They wanted to get rid of Roe v. Wade. And that's Democrats, Republicans, and independents, and everybody. It's possible that it won't do as well with black women. White males way up. White males have gone through the roof. White males way up.
Is brushing off Kamala Harris's surge in the polls as just a honeymoon phase. But when Trump was asked a question about the enthusiasm behind his Democratic rival, he tried to compare his own crowd on January 6th, the day of the attack on the Capitol, and that to the massive gathering on hand for civil rights icon Martin Luther King when he delivered his I Have a Dream speech.
Are you worried at all about the size of Harris's crowds?
Listen, I had 107,000 people in New Jersey. You didn't report it. What did she have yesterday? 2,000 people? I have 10 times, 20 times, 30 times the crowd size in history. For any country, nobody's had crowds like I have. Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me. If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours, same real estate, same everything, we actually had more people.
For the record, MLK's I Have a Dream speech was 25 times larger than the crowd Trump was referencing on January 6th. Let's discuss.